All right, now we're going to talk about making a histogram. We have here the frequency table shows the number of t-shirts each person in a class owns. Display the data in a histogram. So you're going to first recognize that the t-shirts are all intervals. There's 3 people that had 1 to 4 t-shirts, 6 people that have 5 to 8 t-shirts, 13 people that had 9 to 12, nobody in the class had 13 to 16, and 4 people had 17 to 20. So those intervals are showing that the t-shirts amount have anywhere, they can have anywhere in the interval, including the ends. So when I'm making a histogram, the first thing I want to make sure I do is title it so that the person that is reading it knows what it's talking about. So in this place, we're talking about t-shirts. So I'm going to go ahead and label the histogram with a title, and we're going to go ahead and title it t-shirts. And then I have to label the 2 variables. Okay? So on my graph here, I'm going to go ahead and label the bottom t-shirts because those are the t-shirts that the class students own. So I'm going to put t-shirts students own. And then on the left side here, up the side, I'm going to have the frequency. The frequency is always up the left side of a histogram. And now I'm going to look at these, and I'm going to look at what I'm going to count my frequency by. It looks like I have 8 lines, and I know that in my frequency I go from 0 to 13. So I'm going to go ahead and count my frequency by 2s. So I'm going to start with 0 on the bottom, and then each line is going to be worth 2. And I'm going to go ahead and count by 2s. And I have plenty of room for those. So whatever you count your frequency by, again, you have to count by the same amount each time as you are writing them in. And then I'm going to go ahead and list my t-shirt intervals. And I'm going to start on the left side. I'm going to list 1 to 4, 5 to 8, 9 to 12, 13 to 16, and 17 to 20. And it's going to be important that you keep those as evenly spaced as possible, because the more evenly spaced they are, the easier it's going to be when you actually go to make the histogram. So to start with, I'm going to create a bar for each of these intervals, and I'm going to start with 1 to 4. I notice that 1 to 4 t-shirts, I have a frequency of 3, which means my bar is going to go up to 3. Well, there is no 3 on the left side, so I need to find where it would be located. And because I counted by 2s, 3 is going to be between 2 and 4. So I'm going to take my bar, I'm going to draw in front of the 1 to 4, I'm going to start my bar going up halfway between 2 and 4, and then I'm going to come over, and notice my bar is fairly wide. And then I'm going to drop my bar so it's halfway between 1 to 4 interval and 5 to 8, because my bars on my histogram have to touch. Okay? Then for 5 to 8, I have a frequency of 6. So for my 5 to 8, I'm going to go right up to the line that's labeled 6. Again, I'm going to use the same bar that my 1 to 4 ended with, and I'm just going to go ahead and continue it up so it goes to 6. Bring my bar over so it's halfway between 5 to 8 and 9 to 12. And then I bring my bar down. And notice the bars are approximately the same width. Again, the bars are also touching. For 9 to 12, I have a frequency of 13, and 13 is halfway between 12 and 14. So I'm going to continue that bar that I brought down for my 5 to 8 interval. I'm going to bring it up all the way to halfway between 12 and 14, which is 13. Bring my bar across so it's halfway between 9 to 12 and 13 to 16, and I brought it down. For 13 to 16, I have no frequencies, so really the bar doesn't have anything, so I'm just going to bring a bar across so it's halfway between there. I don't have any height to it because there is nobody in that category. So that's really the only time a bar won't touch is because there is nothing in that bar. And then for 17 to 18, the frequency is 4. So I'm going to bring my bar up to 4, across. So again, they're about the same width, and down. And notice all my bars are touching. Sometimes first of all, I could leave the bars like this and have the histogram fine. But some people would prefer to shade in the bars so that they can tell the difference in height a little bit easier. So you can feel free to do a quick shade. Some people will actually take and shade each one differently. One will be vertical, one will be sideways or diagonal, one will be empty, etc. But that would be a histogram. Again, you have to have intervals on the x-axis, which is the one with the t-shirts students owned, or the number of t-shirts students owned. And then you have to have the bars all approximately the same width, and they have to be touching each other to be a histogram.